Hi guys, it's me again, recording this video for the third time now because my butterfly brain has been skipping out on me, so the video got very off topic every time. So this may have to turn into a series of shorter videos. But today I wanted to talk about, because I'm so early in my diagnostic journey and I really only have a diagnosis of hypermobile spectrum disorder. That's the only thing that I have on paper right now. I did have anemia, but my doctor took it off because he doesn't think I have anemia, even though I was told that I was because I had all the symptoms of being anemic, but the blood tests never came back as having low iron. So my doctor says, stop with all of your anemia stuff. That's one of the things I'll talk about in a different video. And don't do anything else with that until we know more of what we're dealing with. So I'm still waiting for my geneticist appointment, and we'll start really diving into diagnostics after that appointment is the plan. But as of right now, because I know that there's going to be a lot of different diagnoses on the table once we get there, I've been trying to log symptoms that I think maybe are related as I do more research into hypermobility conditions. So anything that I have that seems suspicious, I've been writing down, because, now we're getting to the actual subject of this video, I personally never know what is worth mentioning to my doctor, which is why I think I haven't gotten a diagnosis so far. I kind of always thought that all of the little things that were happening in my body were just individual, separate little instances or circumstances, not even conditions, but just I ate too much, this happened to my stomach. Not necessarily that the frequency of that happening was important. I didn't know, and I never considered it. So in 38 years of life, I have managed this on my own and always just kind of dealt with symptoms on a day-to-day basis. So if I eat too much in one sitting and have an upset stomach, oh, well, I should have known that happens when I eat too much. So that was just something that happened because of that, because of the eating too much, not because of a greater issue. That I just didn't ever think of it that way. I never considered that it could be something potentially dangerous, for one, or something even worth mentioning, for two. That's my big issue, I think, is that I don't know what's worth mentioning, or even what's, because they've become so normal for me. They've become such a part of my day-to-day existence because I never had a diagnosis or even an idea that it could be a diagnosis. So this is my normal. And since this is my normal, I don't know what things merit mentioning to my doctor. So little things, to me, are actually potentially big things. So I've just started writing everything down. Everything from my fingernails having ridges on them because some article I read on Wikipedia one time said that that could be a sign for something bad. Or my near fainting, which even before I had the anemia misdiagnosis, I still thought was pretty normal because when I was young, like junior high age, early teens, and had that happen, the doctor said, oh, teenagers just go through that because they stand up too fast and their bodies are growing. Well, I'm 5'2". I haven't grown in a long time. But I still, as an adult, have this problem. And my brain never thought, hey, the doctor said it was normal among teenagers who are growing. You don't do that anymore, and you're not a teenager anymore, so maybe it's not normal for you. It just became so much a part of my norm that I didn't think about it anymore. So that actually makes me nervous about how many different conditions I'm going to get diagnosed with. It's almost like I just got goosebumps just thinking about it. I don't know how many things are going to come down the pipe, because if I do have EDS and it being a connective tissue disorder, I know from my anatomy knowledge as a massage therapist that connective tissue is literally everywhere. And the idea that every single stupid little thing that I deal with on a day-to-day basis is connected is daunting and somewhat scary, that it's all one thing. I don't know why that makes it more scary to me, but it does. The idea that I can't manage individual things and actually be fixing them, I think is what bothers me about it. And I guess an example of that would be I manage my knee slipping out of place with a brace. I manage my stomach issues with my diet and how much I eat. Not even really diet. I don't eat special food. I'm just not that diligent and I like food. But I have to be very careful at my portions. I eat very little at a time. And I have a hard time keeping my weight on sometimes. Like my weight will fluctuate on a week-to-week basis by 10 pounds almost, depending on how much I can eat in any given time. And I've always just thought, I'm small, so my appetite's not very big. So that's why I can't eat very much, because they say your stomach is only this big as your 2 little hands. And my wedding ring is a size 2 3/4, so I have really little hands. So I thought, I have a really little stomach. That makes sense. That's why I can't eat very much. But the idea of it being because my stomach stretches and then doesn't digest the food properly because of the stretchy connective tissue, that seems more serious to me, which makes it more scary to me, rather than it just being, you're small. And because you're small, you don't eat much. That seems like a very easy thing to dismiss. You know, you're small, be careful. But to think your stomach is expanding and stretching too far and all your food is sitting in your stomach and then takes a long time to digest because your stomach doesn't do its job, that seems more intimidating to me. I don't like that. So I don't know that I like the idea of all this stuff being related and connected to one condition that I have to then accept and manage. That, I think, is what's the most intimidating about this diagnosis to me. I don't find the diagnosis itself intimidating. I don't find being in pain intimidating anymore, because my pain tolerance is built up so high and I'm just so used to it because this is my normal, that, you know, my everyday pain to me is a 3, whereas to people who experience it for one day would consider it a 7. That's just my normal now, and I've managed that thus far. So the idea of having a pain condition that I can't cure, I've already accepted that. That's okay with me. But the idea of having a condition that includes everything, that I've just learned to accept, I think I'm going to have to re-accept all of these things all at once. That's intimidating. I don't enjoy the idea of how I'm going to deal with that. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. I may get my diagnosis and go, okay. But I'm an introspective creature. I think a lot about how I'm going to respond to things in advance. And that's one of the things I'm concerned about how I'm going to respond to. Am I going to accept the idea that all of the things that I've dismissed individually are now being thrust upon me as one big condition? And if you have a better way to explain why that's intimidating, I would love to hear it, because I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain and my heart around that. Because I am so comfortable with things being as they are. And the only reason I went to the doctor to get a diagnosis is because I was noticing that things were becoming worse with my pain and my joints. Nothing else has really gotten worse, but my pain level was getting to a place where I couldn't tolerate it as well on a day-to-day basis. So I go to the doctor for pain and why I'm in more pain than I used to be. And I come out with, you could have this huge condition that could include your stomach issues, your headache issues, your jaw issues, your vision issues, your dental issues, your heart issues. Like, it encompasses everything. So all the things that I dismissed as not being an issue, not being significant enough to be an issue, are all part of a bigger issue. I don't like that. And I hope that I'm explaining why I think I don't like that clear enough. Because in explaining it to you guys, I'm explaining it to myself too. So this has kind of become somewhat therapeutic for me. not in a place of I'm in a depressed state and need to be bringing myself out of that state. I think this is therapeutic for me in helping me work through some of these things as I go. And I do them and share them because I think that other people have got to be feeling this way. I do the videos for myself. I share them in hopes that somebody else will get some insight as they go through this journey too. So that's how I'm feeling about that today. And hope that it helps somebody as always. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.